Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming a video that I've put off for so long, but it's back to uni time. From the title you guys can probably tell that I'm filming my study abroad from the University of Birmingham to the University of Sydney experience. In this video I'm just going to be going over what I went through and overall how I felt about it. I'm going to be giving you guys some advantages and disadvantages of studying abroad. I just hope this is useful for anyone who's in second year of uni or in first year of uni who's thinking of applying for study abroad yet. Just want to shout out to all the people in Australia who dislike me who are watching this video because you're giving me views. I am actually going to just snack on some pakora. I just made some pakora with my mum. That video is going to be coming out probably before this. So yeah, I'm just going to snack on these while I talk just so I feel less anxious. I love that for me. For my water, I should have had some tea, but I've already had tea before this video. I'm not going to go over the whole application process. I think I'll make a separate video for that. Giving you guys some tips and kind of advice for how to get option you want, because I actually applied for University of Sydney as my first choice and I got my first choice and I knew where I wanted to go. I wanted to go where there was beaches, where it was hot, where it was a vibe. It was a vibe for a bit. As you guys can probably tell, I'm Pakistani, I'm Muslim, so telling my parents that their only daughter and their youngest child wants to go, how far away is Australia? I literally should know this. I'm so stupid. How far away is Sydney, Australia? This is how far away Australia is. So imagine telling your Muslim Pakistani parents that this is where you wanted to go. So I had to do the whole telling them that I've worked really hard, which I did, and I applied for this and I really want to do it. And my parents, alhamdulillah, are so lovely, are so nice to me, and they just want me to take every opportunity I get. So they allowed me to go. Without their blessing, I obviously wouldn't have done it. And this is a quick tip / advice for anyone in my position. You need their support in any decision you make, sort of thing. And especially with year abroad, I would not have survived without my parents' backing and without their advice and their help all the way through it. And I hopped on my plane and off I went to Sydney. So this was the first, oh my god, that's gross. I can't eat with my mouth full. I'm sorry. So this was the first time I actually traveled without my parents on a plane. It was the first time I traveled 32 hours. So I flew from London to Dubai, no, to LA, and then LA I had a massive stopover for 10 hours, and then LA to Sydney. And I was exhausted, guys. I was so exhausted. I was tired, and that's when it sunk in. I wasn't scared about going on study abroad until I hopped on that plane and I realized how far away this place was. There were so many times that I just wanted to go home and visit my family, and that was fine for a lot of my friends who did study abroad in closer countries, but I had gone down under all the way to the other side of the world. So when I was feeling low, I couldn't just get on a plane and see my mum and be there within an hour or so. It was going to take me 2 days to get home. My parents actually did come out and visit me halfway through because I had a little bit of a wobble, which we'll get on to later on in the video. But yeah, my parents did come and visit me, and that saved my life. So moral of this whole rant was, just make sure you have someone supporting you back home, or someone that you can reach out to and talk to, because you're going to need that support somewhere down the line, whether it be for mental health or physical health or anything. You're going to need to speak to someone who's from back home who you know, and I'm really thankful that I had such amazing friends. So in terms of arriving in Australia, I already had my accommodation booked. I had everything sorted and I was living in uni accommodation, and I 100% recommend that, because when you're just going to a new country, you want to have some sort of familiarity. And I'd seen this place online, I knew it was uni owned, I knew that it was safe basically. And a lot of my friends who had also gone to Australia had just decided to stay in hostels and jump around, and if you've done that before and you've lived the hostel life, you'll be fine with that. But I'm glad now that I didn't do that, because it meant that I would have been all over the place, and I had the worst few days when I just got there. For me, my homesickness kicked in straight away. I'm quite glad that I had my homesickness at the start, because I got over it within a week. I was Snapchatting my mum and my dad and I miss home. But trust me, as soon as you leave your room, you meet some people who are in the same position as you. This is what I mean with the uni accommodation. There were so many people who were on study abroad that I made friends with, and we were all in the same boat. We were all missing home. Just make friends quite easily once you leave your bedroom. Don't do what I did and just lock yourself away and cry, because it's not healthy. And you're there in a country that's really hot, and you want to just get some sunshine, get outside, and you'll be fine. So once I got over my initial homesickness, uni was great. I think my first semester was my favourite semester ever. I made friends and I was exploring Australia. In terms of academics, I'd say compared to the University of Birmingham, the University of Sydney is quite challenging. It obviously all depends on what you study and the course you're taking. In terms of my department at University of Birmingham, obviously, if you guys don't know already, I study psychology. They said to me that a majority of the subjects you do have to be psychology based, and they have to obviously be like third year subjects, because I was in my third year then. A lot of people around me from other universities in England, there was a few from Brighton University and Manchester, a lot of different places. They didn't have that, so they could study whatever they wanted. So a lot of my friends on year abroad were studying like outdoor sports, things that you didn't really have an exam for, you didn't have coursework for, you just had to go on like a trip to the Blue Mountains. Shout out to anyone in Australia who knows what the Blue Mountains is. So those people were just chilling, literally chilling and breezing through their study abroad, and they weren't really spending that much time studying. Whereas for me, I think I was taking 4 third year psychology subjects, and I was also taking like English and things. It was pretty damn tough, but I wouldn't have changed it for the world. If you know me in real life, you'll know that I'm a big nerd. For me, it wasn't a big deal, but it did become a bit of a big deal in second semester, where my mental health kind of just plummeted. And obviously when you're going through things mentally, workloads and university and things just become a stress. I think in terms of academics, I did prefer University of Sydney because it was more challenging, but then also that has its downside with the fact that it's harder to get a first and it's harder to do as well. Now this is the big one that I want to talk about. Money is a massive thing that everyone on year abroad worries about and has issues with at some point in their time on the year abroad. I feel like this is a harsh truth, but you will run out of money, and you'll run out of money fast, and you'll just be like, where did it all go? That just happens on year abroad. I feel like you see everyone around you having a good time, going on holidays, and you obviously don't want to miss out. So you're thinking, I want to go on holiday, I want to do all these things, and before you know it, you run out of money and you're sad and depressed. That's what happened to me. But it's not a big deal. I mean, that's what I mean about having family support and people there, because you can talk to them and figure something out. For me, in my second semester near the end, I had to have some family help, and that's completely fine, but my family are not in a position to fund, holidays. You see a lot of students who are well off going on year abroad, their family and their parents are funding all these holidays and these sightseeing things that they can do, and meanwhile you're in your accommodation studying away and not being able to do those amazing things. But I'm not moaning or anything about it. I still got to go on a really cool holiday to Queensland. I had the best time. I got to see all of Sydney. I feel like I know Sydney inside out now, so it's all good. We ain't complaining out here. And now moving on to another kind of huge topic that has just been rambling my brain is friendship. So this is different for a lot of people who have gone on year abroad. Some people love the friends they made out there, and they think that those friends are better than the friends that they have at university back home. For me, I feel like the people that I met out in Australia have made me way more appreciative of my friends here at home. There's going to be a lot of people watching this from Australia who are toxic and they're welcome to watch my videos and share it around and do whatever they want. I feel like with a city like Sydney, it's so true that people just come in and out. It's a city where a lot of people are on temporary visas, or they're just on international student visas, so it's not as sociable as, let's say, the University of Birmingham is. If you go to the Uni of Birmingham, you know that a lot of us are always in the student union, we're at Joe's Bar, there's a lot of societies, and I don't feel like that's the same in Sydney. So a lot of the students in Sydney are international, and it's a lot of money to be an international student in Sydney, so obviously they don't want to spend time socialising, they'd rather just be studying all the time, which is fair enough. Also, I realised that a lot of people start uni younger there, which is a bit weird, but it's whatever, and that kind of had an effect on friendships as well. The mentality of a few people there was a bit questionable. Yeah, you're always going to meet weird people. I think I literally just have weird luck with people. It taught me a lot as well about trust and where to put your energy, and I think that's one thing that you learn on your study abroad, which people deserve your energy and which people don't. You can get really caught up in trying to hold on to friendships and things, because you're basically alone out there. I had no family near Australia or anything like that, so I was alone. So having friendships and things was what keeps you going, but you need to realise which people are actually your friend and which people just want to hang out with you for the clout. I don't regret going on year abroad at all. I think it's grown me up so much. Even my mum has said to me, you were always pretty mature and grown up for your age, but going on year abroad like you become more independent and more mature, and I think it just gives you a different perception of the world and of people. I'm gonna make loads of story times about like the crazy things that happened and the weird people I met, but in terms of me regretting study abroad, no way. I don't regret it at all. I don't regret where I went. All the experiences I had, I don't regret any of them, and I had an amazing time anyway. The sights that I saw, Sydney in general is just so beautiful, and it was such a blessing to study in such a prestigious university. So I'm never going to be, regretful about that choice that I made to go and study abroad. As a Pakistani Muslim girl, I was basically a minority, well, a British Pakistani Muslim girl. I was a minority in Sydney. I only met one Pakistani girl, and she was from Denmark, and yeah, we became friends, and we obviously got on because it was someone I could relate to, but there was literally no one else that was like me in Sydney that I could talk to about kind of my struggles and things. And I think you're going to find that when you go and study abroad, a lot of people are coming from backgrounds where they have a lot of money, and they've obviously can afford to be there, and they will have income coming in all the time for them to be on that year abroad. For me, as someone who's not from a background that's that privileged, and I just took my two years of savings that I had from first year and second year, because I knew I wanted to do study abroad. So thank God that I saved that money, because I wouldn't have survived otherwise. But yeah, I think that's all that I really have to say at the moment about my study abroad. If you guys have any questions, then please leave them down in the comment section. I am now going into my 4th year. Oh, I'm so burpy. I'm now going into my 4th year at the University of Birmingham. I'm so excited to be back. Message me on my social media and I will respond. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. She gonna eat now.